Where are you from, sir?
Australia.
Australia. It's not Australia, Australia. You're a big guy. I can't argue. He's big. He's big. How much you weigh? I don't know. 2 tons? I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. He's a big guy. 2.5. You're a big guy. You know, kill me afterwards, but it's okay. It's okay. Actually, speaking of Australia, our next comedian is from Australia. Give him a big hand. He's making his debut, Mr. David Chalmers, everybody!
Hey, how you going? Good Aussie bloke, don't take that shit. Yeah, are you guys, we've got Olympic fever here, isn't it amazing, right? Hong Kong had Olympic fever even before the Olympics started. Well, it was quite amazing. I was away. You remember everyone was lining up to buy those notes from the Bank of China? People fucking line up for days to buy these notes. I'd been away and I was coming back in a taxi and the taxi driver said to me, as we were driving past, look at the crowd. And I said, shit, what are they all lined up for? He said, money. I said, no shit, Sherlock. A fucking bank and people are lined up for money. Who'd have thought? I can imagine asking that guy at a nightclub, why do you think girls line up to go to the bathroom? To be? Just amazing. But we had our own event in Australia, didn't we? We had World Youth Day. Do you remember that? We invited the Pope. It went for a week, didn't it? It was fantastic. And we invited the Pope, and you could buy souvenir t-shirts. Did you hear about this? So I bought one, it says, I was touched by the Pope. Down under. They're fantastic. The 4 guys in front of me were actually from his entourage. I'm like, shit, why would they want one of those? Anyway, excuse me, but this isn't a light thing here. I am actually bald. I have no problems with it, but I've got to tell you, the journey to baldness is racked with pain. I kid you not. I mean, some of the issues you face, right? You go into the hairdresser. The hairdresser's the worst. You go into the hairdresser's, right? You can fucking laugh. You've got hair, right? That's your teeth, right? And don't bring your hand. That really hurts, right? Just don't do this. But no, the hairdresser's the worst. You go to the hairdresser as a bald guy, and you sit down. They don't even put the cape around you, right? And they just wrap your neck in dunny paper, and they put a clip on the back. And then they very quietly put their hand on your shoulder, and they say, now what would you like? And you look in the mirror, and you look at yourself, and you go, look at them, and you go, I'm fucking bald. I'd like my hair back. But it's even worse. You go in and you sit down, right? You're sitting down in the waiting room, and they have all these magazines with photos of different hairstyles. There is no section there for partially bald men. Even one photo, not even one photo of the clown look. You know, where they shave the middle and they tease up around here. Even just one photo, so at least we felt like we were part of a group. There's no comb-overs, you know, like the left to right comb-over, the right to left comb-over, you know, depending on which way the wind's blowing. Or the look for this winter, right, we're going to grow it longer at the back, and then back to front comb-over, with a little bit of gel and a kick up at the front. I mean, that's going to be in, mark my words, that will be in this winter. No, it's tragic. The other thing about being bald is that the Japanese don't actually call it a comb-over. The Japanese call it a barcode. It's true, and when you think about it, it's true, they call it barcode. And it's true. You can imagine how the fat lines, thin lines, fat lines, all slick down across your head. And there's real problems with it, because you go to the supermarket and you buy something, and you look down and you go, how much of those? Oh, click, I didn't buy that. I didn't buy that. I didn't buy that. It's really quite tragic. But the other thing, I'm just starting to come to grips with being bald. And the thing that bothers me is a whole new trend now. And the new trend is total hair removal. Have you seen this? There are Brazilian waxing salons opening up everywhere here in Hong Kong. Everywhere you look, there's a Brazilian waxing. I don't know why they call it Brazilian. I mean, you have a look at any vagina, it doesn't look anything like Brazil. I can understand if they call it Australian, right? Because it really does look like a map of Tasmania, right? That's much closer. But I just have no idea what they call it. And speaking of hairstyles, have you all heard of the hairstyle, the mullet? mullet. It's short at the front, long at the back. Yeah, it's a good look. Yeah, and you know the saying they say with a mullet? They say business at the front, party at the back. It's true. That's a saying. I reckon we should invent pubic mullet. We can have a business at the front, party at the back. I mean, I think forget the Brazilian. I think that's what we should start with. For those of you that have picked up my accent, I am Australian, and I'm proud to be Australian. But interestingly enough, I travel a lot, and people ask me often, "What's the difference between Australia and the US?" And the difference is, Australia is like the US was before the lawyers got hold of it. It's true. I mean, you know, poor old Sesame Street. Remember Cookie Monster? Cookie Monster, he said, "Cookie good, give me cookie." Remember that? Sesame Street has now had to change what he says. He can't say, "Cookie good, give me cookie." He has to say, "Cookie sometimes food." And that's true. They've changed the legislation to make him change the way he speaks. The lawyers have also got hold of toys, right? Mattel now have a whole new range of Barbies. They have the Malibu Barbie, the Sunset Barbie. They even have an Australian Barbie. It's got a Kubra hat, comes with a kangaroo, a little bit of zinc on its thighs. The lawyers want to bring out a divorce Barbie. And it's true. All the other Barbies are $29.99. The divorce Barbie is $400. But it's great because she comes with Ken's car, Ken's house, Ken's boat. It's fucking fantastic. Yeah, now what do I say to get the women on side? Oh, we're sensitive men. No, but the interesting thing is that that they won't even, in some of the shows now, they won't even say the word vagina. Have you noticed that? Oprah won't use the word vagina. It's unbelievable, isn't it? I'm offended, right? Oprah won't use it. Cosmopolitan won't print the word vagina. You're right. You know what they use? They say VJJ. Have you guys heard that? They say VJJ because they don't want to offend anyone. I'm offended. No, serious, I'm offended. I work for an Indian company, and tell me, this is true, isn't it? VJ is a common Indian name. I've got a whole bunch of friends, I'm offended. Every time I hear Oprah say VJJ, they go, "Oh shit." Next time I see you, he says, "I'm VJ," I go, "Right." That's true, the famous golfer, Vijay Singh. Right? So I've gone on my corporate directory, we've got a VJA, I go, "Shit, VJB, VJC, I've looked right down, there's no VJJ, so I'm safe. But you know, I tease the Americans, but I do love the US. And I've got to say, New York is my favourite city. You know, and what I love about New York are all the little boroughs, right? There's Tribeca, the Triangle Below Canal. There's Nolita, north of Little Italy. There's even Dumbo, right? The district under Manhattan Bridge. They've also got a little Brazil. There's a little Brazil in New York, and what they've done is they've ripped every tree out by its roots, right? It's dead set nude, and they're just West 46th Street runs straight down the middle. But I love New York, but I hate the flight over. I've got to say, that is the longest one-hop flight. It's 16 hours in a cigar, and it's just quite tragic. The good thing is, though, it's long enough to join the Mile High Club. Anyone here willing to put their hand up and say they're a member of the Mile High Club? Come on. Come on, even if it's not with a friend you're with now, you can explain later. No, I am, right? Last time I flew to New York, I became a member of the Mile High Club. It was fantastic, right? I was travelling on my own, right? And I thought there must be a badge, so I said to the flight attendant, you know, as I went in there and did the business on my own, I'm a Mile High Club member, is there a badge? He said, no. You're only an associate member. I said, associate member? Yeah, that's for wankers who fly a lot. Thank you. My name's David Chalmers. You've been so kind.
Again, David Chalmers.